Okay, so I'm back. I am back again. Tag team back again. So I'm really torn because before I didn't notice that, yeah, because I think something went kind of different. And right now, I'm okay now. Okay, so anyway, so I'm trying something different where I'm only going live, YouTube and Instagram. So y'all are getting a live. And I was asking on the last one, you let me know. Um, you know what? I'm not gonna ask you because there ain't nobody in here. Ain't nobody ever commented. Okay. I'm gonna be 100. Instagram, you got the question. If you feel like it, because you got it. This second live, y'all don't. And more likely than not, I'm going to delete that other live that I did on YouTube. So forget the question. I'm not sure you even heard the question, YouTube. So I'm doing that. I'm just doing live and I'm using the live video, which I'll edit and add music and signal and all that stuff. Um, for my Patreon, they get the live later on. I would go live from my Patreon, but right now I don't have anybody. So y'all need to go ahead and join it for $3 before I get hot. Y'all think y'all like a car? You are so confident that you're gonna yes, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. Okay, I'm gonna keep on doing it until people start listening to me, until I get better and better and better, and I keep bringing y'all a better product in a better situation. Trust me, I'm going to do it. It is going to happen. God's going to bring right people in my path. It is going to happen. It is happening right now. I don't like saying, because my pastor said tense makes all the difference. It is happening now. Okay, the little bit of it is now. It's right now. It's if I compare it to a plant, this whole according to Akara podcast and content creating, it is underground like a plant. It is getting its roots in right now. But wait for it, because then there's going to be a stem that's going to come out of the ground. And before you know it, that little stem is going to grow up to be a big old tree or plant, or I'd like to call it a fruit plant. You don't pay attention to that little sprout that comes up that's been taking root all this time. It's going to be a big old fruit tree. Okay? Because that tree, I want to be a tree. I want to compare it to a tree. While it's underground getting roots, you ain't paying attention to that tree. It's underground. That seed has been sown. And you walk across it, you pass by, you scroll past it, and then it's going to start sprouting. And you're going to be like, And then before you know it, it's like, wait a minute, how did she get? Look, where did she come from? Y'all said the same thing. Y'all said that about Cardi B, but Cardi B been doing what she's been entertaining for years. And a lot of y'all scroll right past all her stuff before. I mean, she had her own little following and everything because she's entertaining just like me. But yeah, I might be 55 when y'all see it. And when I grow, and I start getting nominated for little YouTube awards and stuff like that, that's when the sprouts coming out. When you're gonna turn around, next thing you know, this tree is not just a sprout anymore. It's gonna be a full-blown tree bearing fruit, feeding people. Okay? Better recognize. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Huh. Okay, and I'm planning to buy the water. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So let me quickly put on my lipstick before I go live. Like live on my morning chat. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and call in late now. Well, email that I'm going to be late now, so because I know I'm not going to get there before 9:30 at all. So, excuse me as I go to my excuse me as I go to YouTube. I mean, to my email and send my email. Mm-hmm. Surely is. Mm-hmm. Who are you talking? All these daggone emails talking about Cyber Monday. Miss me. You better have that last minute Friday or something. Okay. Back to y'all. Because I'm putting on makeup. I got to tell y'all about my weekend. And that's going to be all done on the morning chat. But I wanted to make sure. Ooh, that reminds me, I need to go ahead and get my. See, this is when I wish I had people actually in here, man. I said, I have a feeling just talking to y'all that I'm going to blow up. Where I'm going to blow up is um, I'm going to blow up on one of these channels, one of these social media accounts that no one knows of right now. Okay. Because I used to have a Bigo account. This time before I joined, or I may join and see what their community rules. The only reason I'm not on Bigo anymore is they became very, it was almost TikTokish when it comes to the discrimination. And now I'm on TikTok and I'll watch the videos and everything, and I'll post something every now and again on my TikTok. But it is well known that TikTok is kind of prejudiced against dark skinned black people. They'll say something is racially influenced when it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Or, like the black mom on there that she did she made her son look like Dragon Ball Z, and someone praised her for being a good mom. and they gave him a community strike because he mentioned how good of a mom, and it wasn't. And it's a crazy thing. And Bigo was like that. They were striking me on stuff that's like, no. They were saying I'm inappropriate, whereas and there's young, skinnier, uh, BBL having females, racially ambiguous females that were half dressed, and they weren't striking them for it. I mean, I showed some thigh. I showed thigh meat, okay, and they struck me for nudity. I'm like, nigga, no. Either so either it's a bot that is programmed to be a racial against dark skinned people, or I don't know. So let's get into it since it's 8:05. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the morning chat where I tell you what's on my mind in the morning time. I hope you all had an awesome Thanksgiving. An awesome Thanksgiving. I had a pretty okay Thanksgiving. I was tremendously blessed. Okay, friends really came through. People that I didn't expect to. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, at any rate, here I am late because you kind of get used to being off working, for that 4 days. I'll be honest with you. I might be wrong. I may be wrong with this, but 4 days is a bit too much to be off from a job, and you want me to actually come back on time. You know what I mean? Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? That 4 and 4, that's almost a work week. That's almost a work week. That's 4 days. Mm-mm. It's only short by a work week by 1 day. And you want me to come back and work 5? Ooh, child. Mm-mm. Especially you talking to me who is about to be free. Okay. So, yeah. It's kind of hard to go back to work, you know. Um, it's kind of hard going back to work after 4 days. But whatever. So let me tell you how my Thanksgiving went. Okay, so Wednesday night I started cooking. Well, actually, I started cooking on Tuesday. Like I cooked my greens on Tuesday. Or was it Wednesday? It was Tuesday. I told someone this. I said Wednesday. I meant Tuesday. I cooked my greens. This is the first time this has happened on YouTube. Okay, I might have to go back to my old way real quick. Okay, so I guess it's reconnected. So I started cooking my greens. I got my greens, beans, potatoes. Anyway. So I started my greens on Tuesday, and a friend came over and needed to use my kitchen to test out his recipe for a lemon cake. He called it a lemon velvet cake. I think he wanted a velvety lemon cake, is that's what he wanted to do. But okay, it didn't. It turned out good, but not the way he wanted it to turn out. So he came back on Thursday to finish cooking. Let me tell you something about this friend. I am thoroughly, as someone who likes to cook and like to cook from scratch, I'm thoroughly impressed. Cause homeboy, sure enough, he cooked that cake from scratch. When I say scratch, itching for a scratch, he cooked everything from scratch. He cooked on Thanksgiving after because I was up all night. I was cooking my sweet potato. I cooked my sweet potatoes on Wednesday after when I got home early from work. I cooked my sweet potatoes, my mac and cheese. Um, the only thing I need to cook on Thursday. Oh, and my meat, which was chicken, whole chicken, 2 whole chickens on Wednesday night, going into the morning. Now, mind you, I'm not cooking for a whole slew of people. It's just me and my son that I'm cooking for. But I cook like I was cooking for at least 4 people, 7 people. Okay. And I kept some and I gave the majority of the food and I packaged it so that my son, it could he could just I put them in a big aluminum roasting pans that I got from the Dollar Tree, and then I had like the different loaf. They had the little small loaf trays. They had the medium size, and then they got the tiny ones, and I used that for my cornbread. So anyway, so I packaged it so he didn't have to stay and eat. Okay, he can take that home. It's already packaged. Pop it in your oven. Warm up all the food. All the food can be warmed up in that aluminum pan because everything was in aluminum. Okay, so he could pop it right in his oven. Okay, can't pop it in his microwave oven, but he could pop it in his oven, right? So, um, I finished. The only thing I didn't do was the cornbread because he was coming back on Thursday to bake the final product. He baked 2 cakes, a red velvet and a lemon. The red velvet is his, that he have that locked down. Again, all of this shit from scratch. Okay. Cake flour, eggs, noodles, baking soda, baking powder. Okay. Scratch, salt, pepper. Wait, no, not pepper, but salt. All the stuff was from scratch, from the frosting to the cake. Not There was no Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker in my kitchen that day. Okay, hello. I gotta respect the man that could do it from scratch. Hello, and it was delicious. Even though he didn't like his lemon cake, it was delicious to me. Okay, so he did that, and then I messed up on the cornbread because I thought I'd try putting it in my air fryer. Not air frying. I wasn't trying to air fry my cornbread. I have different settings. It has a bake setting on my air fryer. It's a 4-in-1. It does rotisserie, it bakes, it preheats, or not preheats, or reheats and air fries. Okay. So I didn't think about it. My cornbread was burnt at the top and not done in the middle because the heating element is at the top of my air. It's not on the sides, it's not in the back, and it's darn sure not under. But that's why the top burnt. So I know now going forward, if I ever need to use my air fryer, if I'm baking something, I'm gonna have to cover the top of it, so that the heat element isn't beaming down on the top of it and making it an uneven cook. Okay, so Or maybe it would have been better if I did air fry, because at least the air would have been circulating. Well, whatever, child, whatever. Whatever. It is what it is. It happened. I had to redeem my cornbread yesterday by making another loaf of a little baby loaf of cornbread and sending it to my son. Okay, because I was not going down with that being my legacy. Okay, this would be the second Thanksgiving in a row that I messed up the bread, because last year I did a Jamaican theme and my cocoa bread was not cocoa, and it was not cocoa in at all. Okay, no, it wasn't. So, so that happened. Meantime, with him buying, he came over with the ingredients, but there are certain things that he was hoping that I already had, like cupcake pans, like cake pans. Now, I did have the wherewithal to go to Dollar Tree and get cake pans, right? I had a cake pan. They were a little thinner than the ones that, but he came back. First of all, on Tuesday, he came over. He said, "Do you have a mixer?" I said, "No." "Oh, so you stir everything by hand?" I'm like, "I sure do." But I'm thinking, if you're going to make a cake, I haven't made anything that needed a mixer. I've baked biscuits. I do that. I whip that up by hand. You know, that's the only thing that I'm thinking and the same thing with cornbread. I can mix that up by hand. You don't need a mixer, but I'm thinking a cake, you might want at least a hand mixer. So he met me at the grocery store that's really close to me, and he was getting extra ingredients that maybe he'd still needed. He didn't think about grabbing. So I met him over there at homeboy and sat up there and bought a mixer. You think the store have mixer? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because it's one of those stores that nowadays grocery stores have a little bit of everything. They just have more food than they have the other things. So homeboy then bought a mixer. Like, it had to be at least $60, 70 $60 countertop mixer. Okay. And he said, "Well, if I buy this," and it was the last one in there too. If I buy this, this is yours. Like, okay, okay, I'll take it. So I got a mixer out of the deal, 2 springform pans. You heard me. 2 springform pans. Now, if you don't know what that means, look it up, Google it. Okay. I'm not trying to get there at 10. I'm not, but yeah, got 2 springform pans, 2 really good um cake pans, and a couple of cupcake pans. I'm like, okay, I guess God want me to start baking again, because I've been messing up on the bread. I'm thinking I'm gonna be making some cheesecakes for Christmas, God's willing. Some cheesecakes. Let me start working on my cheesecakes again. Oh yeah, tag team back again. Ow, 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 ow. So yes, I got really blessed with a mixer and all that baking stuff. And of course he bought it because I didn't have it and he needed it. So whatever. God is good and all the time. And if I judge it based off of what that brother do, I'm not gonna see him for until next year this time. Okay, he comes around, use my house, use my bed to sleep in, use my tub, take a bath in. friends, how many of us have them? Taught. That's why the title is this, because this Thanksgiving was really about who was really your friends and who wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Um, and what I had on my mind in the morning time is going to be done in the 15 minutes of funk. So, because it goes a little more deeper, because not everybody is your friend, and not all your family members are your friends either. They're not always on your side. Okay. But, you know, it's a blessing when you do have siblings that are also friends, or family members that's also friends. Like, you really do get along, so that part. So outside of that, so I had a pretty uneventful Thanksgiving. you know um I didn't work, like, at any outside jobs where I made money. I just provided food for my son. And ain't nothing makes me this type of mom. I'm a type of mom that love to cook for my family, love to cook for especially my son. I feel needed. You know what I'm saying? I felt needed. Like, my son is 26. He has his own place and he likes to cook. I'm pretty sure he does. I know he does, because he's asked me how to do things, but he hasn't taken the time to come over. Let me show you how you make it. And then, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's done it. He's tried it at home, but he didn't have like I'm going over so and so's house for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So I cooked, of course. It'll be a sad day when my son officially gets married to a good woman that cook well, and they host Thanksgiving. It'd be nice. So that was good. Black Friday, I decided I went out. Okay, so some of y'all might know, but now y'all gonna all know who watched this, is that I DoorDash for just a little extra money. And they had this incentive from Wednesday to Sunday that you'll make an extra $300. That's the way it seemed like. You'll make, if you do 15 deliveries between, I believe it was Wednesday to Sunday or Monday. I don't know. I'm not sure which one. That you would make $300. 15. So I did 15. Now, mind you, I door dashed 15 deliveries. My acceptance rate is below 70. Now, if you don't know about it, Google it. Okay. Now, I started rejecting orders because I would watch a DoorDash, this guy on who do DoorDash, and he makes good money at it, said, don't take those little $3, $5, um, $3 DoorDashes, $2 DoorDashes. You know what I'm saying? Because, oftentimes, it's just not worth your delivery. It's not even worth your time to even do those. And so reject those until you get a decent price. Basically, set where you won't go below. I'm not accepting nothing below $5, $4, or whatever the situation is. And it's funny, my sister mentioned, I was talking to her and said, I see how y'all do. Y'all don't deliver on people that don't tip. That's not true. We deliver. I don't even see what you tip until after I've delivered it. And I'm not sure when that video came out, but I don't care what anybody say, and I don't care what DoorDash will post as this. They punish you for not having, but for not accepting everything they send to you. Okay. If you get below 70%, you're not going to get the premium orders, deliveries. You're not going to get any of the premium deliveries. I believe that. Okay. Because I'm currently under 70% delivery because I was not accepting those 325 orders, you know, and $2, 250. Like, nigga, why am I gonna pick up, whatever? You know what I'm saying? But in an attempt to get my acceptance rate up, I decided on, was it Saturday? On Sunday was when I said I started accepting lower bids because that was the only one I was getting. Okay. First of all, Friday after Thanksgiving, it was dry as hell for me. I'm gonna tell you why, because my acceptance rate had gotten low. Okay, so there, and I looked it up, and I had proof that someone said, because they screenshotted their conversation with DoorDash on why, it was blinking or whatever, and it said, "Oh, your acceptance rate is a below, and you don't get." Basically, they said you don't get the good orders because you don't accept. They said, but y'all didn't say that. Matter of fact, DoorDash says they don't punish you for not accepting everything. Okay, and then the chat, whoever the customer service started like, "I'm going to reset. Just try to refresh. Try to refresh. Try to refresh." It's like, nah, nigga, nah, nigga. What you doing is bullshit. It says, so basically you are, but you can't say that you're doing it. So once you get under a certain under 70%, you start getting crap deliveries. You start getting those 325s. You start getting those $5 with no tip. I literally delivered on Friday. I took a $5 order on Friday. I picked up on Edgewood Avenue in the city. Okay. And I delivered this order across town. I had to get on the fucking highway to get to this place for a $5 delivery. And that wasn't even a tip. That was just the distance I drove. They didn't even tip. They didn't even tip. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm not mad at you because really, I already figured if they're doing this type of incentive, they're trying to get you out there and picking up every order that they give you. That's what they want to do. Okay. That's why they did. Just like they say, "Oh, you'll get $3 if you're in this area." I learned that from when I drove Lyft and Uber. Okay. That when they do that, when they're saying that this is a hot zone and that's a hot zone, they want everybody to get over there and start picking up people. Okay. And as soon as everybody goes over there, they change the hotspot to over here. They're trying to get people to come over here and pick up. Same thing with DoorDash. Any of these apps, those incentives, those $3 pickups, on top of the order, is to get you in that area where there's not as many drivers. Okay. They want you to get out there. We got restaurants. We don't have enough drivers. So if you come over here and pick up and do your deliveries in this area, we'll give you an extra $3 for doing this area. Okay. But what they don't tell you is with DoorDash, the hot spots is where the restaurants are. Be somewhere around them restaurants. Okay. That's what you want to do. Not where people live. Because once you get out there, you're not going to get too many. But you get to the restaurants, but you'll pick up at that restaurant and it will take you way out of the zone. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think no person is looking, but I think they have their bots has been programmed to only give good orders, close orders to those that is in that higher acceptance percentile. Okay, because they're trying to get us to deliver to these non-tipping broke boys that want their food delivered to their door, but they can't afford to tip. That's just as bad as people going to a restaurant and you don't have enough money to fucking tip. Don't go to a restaurant if you can't pay 20% base. If you cannot pay to tip your person, your server, this amount of money. And see, a lot of this I learned as I got older. Okay. When I was younger and I was a college student, I feel like what I did for this weekend, I decided to take lower than what I would normally do. One, because I want to get my acceptance rate up, but two, because I can only imagine maybe there's a college student that didn't go home for Thanksgiving and they're waiting till Christmas to go home. And they're still there and they're not having their Thanksgiving dinner with their family. And so they're going to order from somebody restaurant on Friday or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they had their friends giving on Thanksgiving or whatever. And on Friday, they just need some food. I'm here. I'm not gonna go home until Christmas. Them students that they broke, I don't care what school they go to, they still broke. They can't really afford to tip, and I get it. That I understand. But when it's a grown ass person, and I know, matter of fact, that this is the order. I got an order from Edgewood Thumbs Up restaurant, and that's a very popular brunch spot. Y'all might want to check it out. They didn't pay me for this. I picked up an order from Thumbs Up. First of all, I knew it wasn't good because the food was already ready when I got there. Okay. I went there, picked up, like, okay. I took it all the way down to Camp Creek from Edgewood, Atlanta, in the city, to all the way damn near the airport. No, Cascade area, Campbellton Road area, off the 166 loop. $5. And I hate to say it, but my people don't tip. Because that woman did not tip me. She didn't tip me no money in my hand when I got there. She didn't add a tip when I left. Okay. And I had to get on the highway and then a sub highway to deliver her funky little food. Can you believe it? I do. Child, I remember one time I picked up a bottle of Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A over here off of Memorial on Bill Kennedy Highway. I mean, Bill Kennedy Road, and delivered it across the city. $5. No tip. Just the bottle. They could have Instacarted that from Kroger, but I drove from East Atlanta to the same area, like down there on South Atlanta, Camp Creek, where was it? Southern Medical Center is, yeah, Lakewood, yeah. So miss me when y'all's like, y'all don't like to deliver if we don't tip. The least you could do is tip. Okay. But yeah, no, we don't drive halfway across the city thing that cost you probably $7, $8. No. So that part. So it was dry. I made under $100. And I drove for 3 days. Well, now mind you, I did like maybe I did 4 hours on Friday, 4 hours on Saturday, and 2 hours on Sunday. I made less. I made less than $100. I was about to tell you the exact amount. But it starts with an 8. Okay. I made less than $100. That's ridiculous. Trust me, if I don't get that deposit that matches my 300, I'm glad I read about those incentives because I'm thinking I'm going to get an extra 300 for making 15 deliveries. I better not have to call them. Trust me, if I don't get it, I will be on the horn first thing in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to be late on because I'm going to be talking to DoorDash and somebody's going to get a tongue lashing. I did it. You did not say that I had to have approval rating for this or nothing. I did not make 300. I did my 15. They better. All I know is that better drop or I'm going to have words with DoorDash. I'm calling and I'm talking to Akbar. Okay, I'm talking to Kumar Reddy. Who's going to tell me his name is Kevin. Okay. Child. But at any rate, now it's time for me to give you the 15 minutes of fun. Let's get into the real topic. Friends, how many of us have them? So you know what's happening to you, Instagram. I will see you tomorrow for the morning chat. And I didn't give y'all any morning announcements, did I? Before I go to the 15 minutes, I know this is late, morning announcements. All of my morning chats from episode 90 to 95 have been up to part of it. Half of the video is edited sound and all direct you to go to on or according to Akara channel if they want to see my bedtime story episode 19 will be available on Friday evening. Okay, so look out for that. We're almost to the end of the book. Okay, because the next one is going to be uploaded because I've already did the review. I've already recorded it. So the next one is going to be episode 20, which is the chapter before the end. So you want to be here because when I get to the epilogue, which is the last part of the story, where the author wraps it up into a bow and ends this saga, will be done live on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook if I can do it. All y'all gonna get it. It will be done live. That last one, and depending on, I might pre-read it and then still chapters in the last episode and then give my commentary in between. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I do know it's all going to be live. And I believe I will go live on a Saturday evening. It won't be unless I'll to be announced what day I will go live to wrap this up, and I won't be doing any more book reviews except for I have one small book that I want to do for one of these Christmas party. It's called The Office Party by a coworker of mine. I want to read that one and do the bedtime stories on that and tell you where you can find that book. Oh my God. So that's how we're going to do it. And then after that, there will be no more bedtime stories until 2023. Okay. That allows me to procure some books or obtain some books that I will read. I would really love another series like I had for Caught Up Loving the Trail Run. I might end up being homegirl because I know she has another series, and that's awesome. Now I might be her personal book reviewer. But I did see something on Amazon. I want to try a different author than that I don't know. But if you know some people, please put in the comments. oh, I know this author, you should read her. Now, I'm not trying to have no textbooks, no real, I might actually get into some celebrity books, like some other people are doing. You know, maybe I will read Will by Will Smith or something of that matter. So, all right. So that part. So I just want to let y'all know that. And I will talk to you tomorrow, Instagram, and we going to get ready for the 15 minutes of fun. So hold on. I have a whole description now that I can use. I thought I had. Oh, I have it on my old one. Okay, well, you just gonna go on up there then. Now this is why I should use the same camera. Okay, now let's set the timer. Let's set the timer for the 15 minutes of funk. There ain't no junk. Bow. Okay, let's get into it, friends. How many of us have them? Okay, so this was on my mind in the morning time. Literally, when I woke up this morning, I was still kind of. Today was the day that I got the calls where people were just minute. And one of the calls was a family member calling to complain about another family member. And one of the things that for me is he thought that they were better than what it was. Basically, this person was offended because they were asked to go on a trip, right? When he found out that they were gone, it was like maybe a week or two before the other family members were going. And the way he found out about it, it seemed like it was a family trip. You know what I'm saying? And it really wasn't designed to be that way. Just two of the families, the two members of the family that arranged this last minute choice, really was a last minute thing. Compared, it wasn't like a year ahead of time. Had decided to, they were both had birthdays literally one after the other. Like if it was one's birthday was on the 10th, the other was on the 11th. So they decided, since they had the money, to drop on it last minute, basically last minute. And these family members are pretty much good with their money. Okay. Better than me and the family member that was complaining. I knew about it, but I knew it wasn't a family trip. I just knew that they were going and they had the ability to drop the money on it. And you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the money to just, well, I had it, but I have had purposes for that money that didn't include going where they went. Okay. To me, it's last minute. I wasn't willing to drop that. It wasn't for any, and then it wasn't even my birthday. But this family member birthday was close as well. And he was like, Dad, all that we've been, I thought we were better than that. I thought we were cool. You know what I'm saying? And this family member that my family, the family member yesterday is a family by marriage. You know what I'm saying? That he had the worst, the harsher, kind of had more issues with that family member that was by marriage. And he's like, and then speaking to the actual sibling who is married to this person, they kind of like, let understand why you mad when you weren't supposed to come anyway. And you wouldn't have come because you ain't have it. So because it's like y'all trying to make me seem like I'm a whiny baby when in actuality I'm offended, and they're basically gaslighting my sibling, my family member, the family member that's complaining. They gaslighted them. They did, and I love you. I don't think none of them. You know what? Side notes, friends, people that you know for real, and there is this thing that's going on. I said a stranger will support you before a friend will. My family members, I don't think none of them watch none of this. Okay, they ain't telling nobody about it. They ain't doing it. It's just, it is what it is. And I'm just as guilty. But at least I'm subscribed to my friend's channel. I don't be watching her videos all the time, but I'm subscribed. Okay, so I support her. Okay, but anyway, I digress. So they gaslighted him by saying like, I don't get why you mad because you weren't. That now this family member who said that to him is very logical. It's like, well, you weren't invited, so I don't see why you're mad. And you knew you wasn't going to be able to go. We all know. But this other family member that I spoke to was like, don't count my pockets like that. And then the other family member said, and I'm doing my best not to say the names, but the other family member says, hey, you weren't going to be invited anyway. You was never meant to be invited. Okay, facts. But then you got that family member that in a family by marriage. Okay. Now I really don't get into, I'm only saying this as so you can identify these people without me saying the names, just in case it'd be just the time that they decide they want to support me. Okay. Or someone sees it that's friends of the family member that knows the story, or whatever the situation is, you know, that the problem was that that person that he had problems with never came to him and told him this how the gaslight, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to know about it, but you was never going to be invited. Okay, they never came directly to the family member that is feeling offended for not being invited. The gaslight comes in where they never told him that I was never going to invite you. When he found out they were going on a trip and he was getting upset, it's a, oh, I'm so sorry. I was never going to invite you because of A, B, and C. Okay. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Just say that I was never going to invite you. But instead of going directly to the person that's offended and explaining why they did not invite him. Now, it'd be something different. Like if I'm down here, if that family member is in a whole different state and you don't see him every day. But the thing is, this person sees this person all the time. Okay. And you didn't mention nothing about this. And she should have just went to that person and said, this is why I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to come. Period. It wasn't designed as a family trip, but because we're going to be in a state where another family member is, we're going to definitely, it's like, I can't go to this state in this city that's close to a family member and not say, hey, we in town, or we're coming in town. That's rude. Okay. So that's how it ended up being like certain family member. It kind of seemed like a family trip when it wasn't. You understand what I'm saying? So that part. Okay. So he's offended by it all. And then he's more offended because now you're trying to treat me like I'm being a whiny baby. You're gaslighting me. And I don't think he understands that word, but you're gaslighting me like I shouldn't be upset when you can't tell me what I can be upset about. You cannot tell a person they can't be upset about it. They can. Okay. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that they don't see it, that they aren't offended. He just wanted to be heard and to be straight up. Like, I never was intending on inviting you. Oh, and then it would be like, oh, that's the way it is? Okay, my bad. I thought we were better than that. I thought we were closer than that. I thought we were friends. We weren't just families, that we were starting to relate on a level that was going towards friendship. And I didn't, and then now he's regretting his gut feeling about not liking this family by marriage from the beginning. His defenses were down because they were hanging out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that part. The problem really is that there was no direct communication between the two. That was the main parts. There was a lot of going and talking to this person and talking to that person and talking to this person. And I was included in it. I was included in it. I was a part of it too. But I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. As neutral as possible on this thing, because I love every single person that's involved in this situation. But it upsets me that this even is happening. You know what I'm saying? So, friends, how many of us have them? Friends is more than just people that's not a part of your family members. Sometimes you think you're better than you're better than any small little things like this. It could have been just I'm sorry, my bad. I should have told you and told you that we don't want you to come. Or at least be honest with you from the break and just say that's what it is. Okay. And this is the reason why. Don't gaslight. Okay. Some of the people, one of the things that I told my brother is what I've learned in my older years is that I don't expect anything from anyone. No one owes me anything. And those family members that didn't let him know or invite him, they didn't have to. They didn't owe him that. Just because they're family members and you hang out and y'all friends, they don't owe you to invite you on the trip. If they don't want you there, they don't invite you. Why would you want to be around people who don't want you there? Oh, okay, you didn't want me there. Okay, cool. No skin off my back. You know, stop expecting. I think the problem with my family member that complained to me yesterday is he believes that some people owe him. He's a little entitled and unwisely entitled. You would think that someone that's a family member is going to let you know about the trip, even if they're not really inviting you, especially if you're hanging out a lot more than you used to. You understand what I'm saying? So it's that part. If my family member that I spoke to yesterday didn't expect anything from. How can you get offended by something? You expected that person. You expected that person to at least invite you, even if they knew you weren't going to make it, that you wouldn't be able to pitch in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they thought he could. I'm just saying. Maybe the reason why they never even told him about it is that he might just be able to make it. I'm just saying. Okay. But if he never expected anything from anybody, he wouldn't be offended. I wasn't. They didn't ask me. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't my birthday. And I had more reasons to be a little more upset about it, to be honest with you. Okay? To be honest with you, I had a little more reason to be more upset than that family member that talked to me, but I'm not. I'm like, I'm glad y'all had a good time. I love y'all. Whatever. You ain't gonna keep me from loving you. Okay, because maybe you just have no couth. I know what a person is. I recognize them for who they are, and I treat them accordingly in love, the love of God, the love of Christ. Okay, period. And there's no me sitting up there being all brooding and mad and if I'm gonna cut them off, I don't need to say shit about it. I just cut you off. I just fade to black. Ghosting is what y'all young people say, right? Just fade to black. They don't like you anyway. They don't like you anyway. So why would you even expense all this anger energy about it? They don't like you. I didn't like you really anyway. I thought we were better than that, but apparently we're not. Okay, let's move on. No high-minded speech. I'll tell you why I'm cutting. I don't owe you an explanation. Hello. I don't owe you an explanation. Just like you don't owe me anything either. No one owes me. I'm not entitled. You don't have to tell me ish. You hear me? You don't have to tell me anything. So that's my 16 minutes of fun because I went a little over what I was planning on doing, but there it is. Friends don't owe you anything. You know what I'm saying? They'll do it out of pure courtesy because you're the friend. But if they don't, are you going to lose a friend because you thought they were supposed to include you in everything? Really? Get over yourself. Okay? You don't need it. You don't need to have people like you that don't like you. Okay, when they show their true colors, note it and keep it pushing. Because nothing you say to them is going to change their mind because they don't value your friendship. They don't value your relationship. So why are you wasting your breath talking to them, trying to change their mind? I'm just saying. But then again, you got to know if you have the infilling of the Holy Spirit and evidence of speaking in tongues. I'm just going by the church. But if you're saved, born again, and you have the ear to hear what God has to say, He's going to tell you where it's important to cherish this relationship. You know what I'm saying? And this is when you say something. Okay. And this is when you don't. When you say something in love, sometimes you just got to let him make his own mistakes. Maybe not judge him. I had to learn, and I didn't learn because someone told me. Or someone told me I still did it my way, and I can say that that person didn't tell me. You know what I'm saying? They did try to tell me, but I ain't listen. You know, it's like a hard head that I am. But anyway, it's 9 o'clock. I got to get out of here. Y'all have a good one. Remember to love yourself, love your neighbors, and stay authentic. Y'all have a whole good one. Yeah, I cut off the light early, didn't I? Bye. Bye now. Y'all getting on a wonderful week. Bye.